Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the State of Washington,
of the State of Washington,
and will to the best of my judgment,
and will to the best of my judgment,
skill, and ability,
truly, faithfully,
diligently,
and
impartially
perform the duties
of the office of Council Position Number 5,
Council Position Number 5,
City of La Center, in and for Clark County, Washington, as such duties are prescribed by law.
As such duties are prescribed by law.
Well done. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Your turn?
Yeah, let me
I
get off the
gotta
Christmas
say,
hat.
you take the prize for that.
You got to see some of my employees.
So, raise your hand.
I, Tom Strobehn,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am a citizen of the United States
that I am a citizen of the United States
and of the State of Washington,
and of the State of Washington,
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the State of Washington,
of the State of Washington,
and will to the best of my judgment,
and will to the best of my judgment,
skill, and ability,
truly, faithfully,
diligently,
diligently, I never messed that up, didn't I?
and impartially
And impartially
perform the duties of the office of
perform the duties of the office of
Council Position Number 4,
Council Position Number 4,
City of La Center,
City of La Center,
in and for Clark County, Washington,
in and for Clark County, Washington,
as such duties are prescribed by law.
as such duties are prescribed by law.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well,
Never short of words, but yeah, you got me there.
I know I'm intimidating presence. I know. Mr. Mayor, raise your right hand. Say
I, Greg Thornton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I am a citizen of the United States
that I am a citizen of the United States
and of the State of Washington,
and of the State of Washington,
that I will support the Constitution and laws
and I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the State of Washington,
of the State of Washington,
and will to the best of my judgment,
and will to the best of my judgment,
skill, and ability,
truly,
faithfully, diligently, and impartially perform the duties of the office of Mayor, City of La Center,
in
in and for Clark County, Washington,
Clark County, Washington,
as such duties are prescribed by law.
as such duties as prescribed by law.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you. Should I just sign here?
You'll need to sign right there.
Okay.
I'll sign it, and you will be
Official.
officially.
Thank you.
Yeah, never short of words. I messed that up. Last time too was Liz. Remember that?
What?
I made a mistake last time when you swore me in. Yeah. Every time.
Okay.
Times get tired.
Blah, blah.
Very good.
Grade school days.
Yeah.
All right, we will move along. So next on the agenda are citizens' public comment. If anyone would like to address the council, please step up to the podium, and if you'd give us your name and address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Al Philo, 152 West 15th Street. Well, we made it through another year. So, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And God bless America.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Al.
Al. And thanks for coming to the meetings, Al.
Yes.
It's really appreciated.
Jack Davis, 1524 West Albert Place. I'd like to wish everybody here a Merry Christmas. And I'd like to thank the council for all the hours that you put in. I know it's a lot of hard work, and you're making the city better and better every day. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no one else stepping up to the podium, I'll close public comment and move on. Next is the mayor's report. Just a couple things this evening. First of all, I did speak with Linda Masna a little bit earlier today, and she really wanted to be here this evening and thank the city for all the support and all the hard work and effort on the Christmas festival. So she asked me to do it for her, which I'm doing. And I just want to mention again that I think the city looks great with all the Christmas decorations up. The Christmas tree looks wonderful. It really looks good when you come into town across the bridge. So a lot of great work by the Public Works crew. Appreciate it, Matt. So yeah, I think every year it improves a little bit. That is the goal of the city, is to continue to try to improve the decorations at Christmas, and I think we're succeeding in that at that. So yeah, really appreciate all the efforts. Just a reminder that the city offices will be closed next Tuesday and Wednesday, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the 24th and 25th. So all the employees will get a nice 2-day holiday, and I hope they all have a wonderful Christmas. And just one other notice too, my next mayor's town hall, I always have them on the first Wednesday of the month, and the first Wednesday of the month in January is January 1st. So I've decided to just go ahead and cancel that for January, and then the next mayor's town hall will be in February. So just a reminder on that as well. And with that, I just want to wish the council a Merry Christmas. I hope everybody has a safe holiday. If travels are in your plans, I hope your travels are safe. I'd like to wish the same for the community as well. I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, and if you have travels in your plans, please travel safe, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody after the first of the year. With that, the next would be the attorney's report, but Mr. Cairns is not here this evening. He's absent, excused as well. So we'll turn it over to the council members. Councilmember Boff.
Thank you, Mayor. At this month's C-TRAN meeting, I'll hit the high points on that meeting. C-TRAN's lobbyists in Washington, D.C. and Olympia made presentations highlighting upcoming federal and state legislative agendas, and recommendations were made by both lobbyists. The C-TRAN board passed resolutions in support of both agendas. C-TRAN's a member of the Washington State Transit Association, and they also are a member of the Clark County Transportation Alliance. Both organizations provide representation for C-TRAN. A key activity of the Washington State Transit Association for this next year will be to identify and seek legislation to address the impacts of I-976. There's a lot up in the air with regard to 976, and C-TRAN is depending heavily on their member organizations to ferret out the legislation and the requirements that will affect C-TRAN. Clark County Transportation Alliance will support C-TRAN's priority project this year, and that priority project is a $5 million capital request for the Mill Plain Bus Rapid Transit line. Also in the meeting, C-TRAN endorsed the CCTA's policy statement. The facility master plan continues to move along. The admin building is now complete, and the employee south parking lot at their main facility is under construction and will be finished in the first half of 2020. In the second half of 2020, the major construction will begin. The old admin building will be demoed, and the build-out of additional maintenance bays will take place, and then construction of the new maintenance and operation headquarters will continue. Target date for wrap-up is 2022. C-TRAN also was recently certified under Clark County's Green Business Program. That program is one which acknowledges business organizations who promote recycling, energy efficiency, waste reduction, and healthy work environments. One other item, I want to say that 2019 was a great year. The Our Days festivities were a huge success, as they frequently are, and that tradition continued. The Christmas festival, I don't know if we take attendance, but I think it had to set a record this year. It was pretty crowded. Everyone seemed to have a great time, and it was continues to get better. It was better organized this year, and it was just a real plus all the way around. And I want to say thank you to everyone, not just everyone here in the room, but I want to thank our citizens, and especially those citizens who have gotten actively involved in various projects and activities this year. Without citizens who get involved like that, I don't think these festivities would be as successful as they are. I also want to say thank you to our city staff and city employees, because without their hard work and effort, we wouldn't have the beautiful city that we have. And last, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, too. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Councilmember Strobehn.
Wow, how do you follow that one up? He covered it all, didn't he? I want to wish everyone here a Merry Christmas and a happy, safe New Year. Just be mindful of your surroundings on New Year's, because there are some crazy people out there. I'd also like to remind people to think of others this Christmas that are less fortunate. They could use a thought and a prayer. With that, have a Merry Christmas.
Very good. Thank you. Councilmember Cerveny.
Much of what I wanted to say has already been said, of course, but I would also like to thank the staff. It's been a challenging year, to say the least, but you've all stepped up remarkably well, taken on a whole new level of job tasks and projects, and you've done it very professionally, and I really admire each and every one of you for what you've done and leading us forward and working more effectively and more efficiently with the community and with the projects that you're faced with. So thank you for that time. And everyone that attends the meetings and gets involved with all of our committees, kudos. You do a great job. It's a lot of time and investment, and many people aren't even aware of all those hours, but you do a wonderful job and you help us immensely. And my cohorts, and good and bad, thank you very much for everything that you do, for putting up with me and working together to make some great strides forward. So thank you, and Merry Christmas to all.
Very good. Thank you. Yeah, we are blessed to have such a wonderful community, and all the volunteers that help us all throughout the year. We're very fortunate. It's much appreciated. Okay, next are staff reports. We have 3 this evening. The first one will be Chief Denny will give us the police department report.
Mayor, council, citizens, Chief Denny, the Center Police Department. Short report this month. We didn't have any significant events to report, but the guys have been busy. The officers have been busy, and completing the mandatory training for the annual CJTC requirements. Community events. Officer Sheridan has been working with the Chevron Marketplace for enforcement of kids loitering and taking cigarette butts from the smoking cans they use to smoke. I don't think it was the kids. We have some other people that were doing that have some issues. So, but he's been doing a good job with that. Stay on top of it. As far as school events, we had Officer Pavelko working with the schools as they requested some revitalization of the school zones enforcement, trying to find out different ways that they can maybe enhance the school zones as people are coming basically non-compliant of the school zone flashing lights, or they don't recognize them any longer. So talking with different ideas of maybe what can be done in the future as far as painting the school zone on the street itself, or come out with different markings or what have you. So we'll be bringing some ideas forward with the city to see what we can do to help the school as far as the school enforcement areas. Heritage Country Estates, we had another construction theft. This time it was fairly significant. They staged a model home, and some pieces of art and other items that were staged in the home was taken. Looking into it further, it seems like it's an internal theft that occurred because it was accessed through some means. They had to have access from the builders because the doors were locked and the garage doors were in place and all that. So we were working with the builders at this time to see if we can come up with a solution to their problems. Holly Park subdivision, we've had some complaints with out there. I think it's going to be drawing near though, with it's coming to a closure as far as the construction that's going on currently. But people had a perception that the vehicles that were coming in and out of there, the trucks were speeding. From us monitoring those vehicles, just the size in the tight areas, it looks like they're going faster than what they are, plus the noise that they generate when they're loaded. It seems like they're, underpowered and struggling, but not a concern, just a perception. And so there's our events for the month. Again, we've been keeping up on premise checks when people are on vacation. Patrol emphasis are basically our school zone enforcements and other enforcements of those types. Everything else is sort of in place of regular. So if you have any questions about any of those categories, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Chief, the suicidal, are those youth?
No. The suicidal one, no. Those were not. Yeah. And some of those calls were generated transients and things like that.
Okay. Seems like a high number.
Yeah, it's this time of year. Things are increasing, obviously, in that nature. So, hate to say it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Chief, thank you very much.
you.
Good report. Okay, next will be the Finance Department report. Mr. Dustin Bailey will be presenting.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Report this month is relatively short. We've done a lot of work outside of the staff report, so that's why it's short. But just some updates for you. The 2019 budget, obviously we're winding the year down, and staff is on schedule to complete all the accounting work for 2019. With the passage of Amendment 2 of the 2019 budget, staff are now preparing budget to actual reporting. So I will have the Q4 budget to actual report the second meeting in January. And in addition to budget reporting, finance staff are also preparing finalized reporting to state and federal agencies. And the financial statements are due to the Washington State Auditor on May 31st. An update on the business licenses. The council approved Ordinance 2019-21, amending the municipal code, which allows us to do the transition of the business license processing. We sent out a notice to all the current holders of business licenses to let them know that the transition is happening, especially because a lot of them like to renew in January and a little bit before on occasion. What we notified them of was the grace period, because the state portal is going to go live February 6th, so we have a little gap. But everyone's been notified, and hopefully the transition continues smoothly. And then finally, the gambling tax status report. You can see the breakdown here through November. We're still waiting for the December receipts are due later in the month, but that's where we stand with the card rooms. So I would expect it's going to be difficult for us to hit budget with the card rooms. We'll be pretty close, but it'll be difficult because we have 1.3 million budgeted. So, and that's my report for tonight. Any questions?
Yeah, real quick, not on the gambling tax, but the one right above it, the business licenses.
Yes.
Did we have a way to make sure that that's like on the website, so people that are moving to this city get that information,
Yes.
that they need to go through the Department of Licensing?
Yeah. So what we did, we took down the old business license information, and we're waiting for the state portal information to be finalized, and then we'll populate a section that explains the state portal and has a link to it from our website.
Okay. I hate to steal your thunder, but I meant to ask the chief something real quick, if you don't mind.
Okay.
When you're done.
Any other questions
Any
for
other
me?
questions for Dustin?
All right, thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you.
I meant to ask you how the shop with the cop went. Oh. I didn't hear the final one. Sorry. You sat down and it clicked in my head.
Well, that's in December. That'll go to my other report. But okay, Shop with the Cop went great. There was over 200 kids this year, so there was an increase from last. The most we've had participating in all the years we've been doing it anyway, and so it went well. Went smoothly. Surprisingly, we got out of there earlier than anticipated with all the kids that we had. So, but yeah, we had an increase with kids from La Center that participated in the process. So, yeah, we were able to get everybody through, and they had a good time. They got to meet Santa. They had a big old Mastiff and that they got to follow around, and yeah, and our volunteers were there as well and had a great time, I think, right? Yeah. A lot of very, very, very enthusiastic children that had a good time and got some good gifts for themselves and for their families. So
Where was that held?
at Woodland Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah, they're very good hosts for that program, and if we go over a little bit of the $100, it's not a big deal.
Sure.
And they don't, there's no tax, so whatever is charged is without tax. They take up the tax on all the gifts.
Nice.
So,
It's nice.
yes, very organized, and the kids can have their gifts wrapped afterwards, and there's cookies and everything for them to have a treat when they're done. And
What was the age group that you had, like the average?
from 4 years old up to, I think, about 12. Yeah.
That's good to
Was
hear.
the age groups. So we had a couple that we had to shop for 7 of their siblings. So that was a fun process. Huh? So,
That's great.
yeah.
Thanks, Chief.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
Chief. Thank you.
It did make front page of the Reflector, and there's a big picture of how big that Mastiff is.
Oh,
It's
really?
big.
I'll have to go back and look at that.
It's a good article.
Okay, the third staff report we have this evening is for the Community Development Department, and Mr. Jeff Swanson will be giving that report.
Good evening, Council. Jeff Swanson. I'm your consultant and acting as your Community and Economic Development Manager. And wow, so this I almost have the last word for 2019. Right? Pretty cool.
Last short word.
Yeah, last short one. So a couple of highlights here. So McKay Sposito, they've generated a final report for the work that they did. And they make a number of recommendations to improve our business practices in land use, building, development, permitting, and so forth. And so those recommendations, along with the recommendations we heard earlier this fall from Paul Lewis, are going to be put into a work program to improve overall processes in community development. So what we expect to see there is we'll see development of systems and project management practices related to land use review, building processes. We started working on it today, kind of fleshing out what that project management system is going to look like. And so we're going to include things like capital projects, major capital projects that Tony and Matt are working on. So we'll have a better handle around all the stuff we're doing. And then we'll have kind of a catch-all category for things like comprehensive plan updates and the planned action area and other kind of special planning projects that come up. There will be some rewriting of codes. We have a lot of code rewrites that we need to get on, especially in Title 18. And so we'll commence to do that. And then we'll work to adopt a comprehensive fee schedule for our building and development land use entitlement activities. We did come in under budget on the project by around $10,000, and so we're talking about rolling that into some of our implementation activities where McKay Esposito can support some of the more technical aspects of implementing their recommendations.
I was just going to ask, do they help you rewrite the codes and stuff like that too, or is this just
yeah, it's not in our current scope, but it's something that they could definitely help us with. One of the things that I'm thinking they can help us with that they recommended is checklists for different types of applications and land use processes. So if someone comes in and wants to do land division, well, here's a checklist, and they can just go down and check all the boxes and bring back a technically complete package. It'll improve the product that we get back from a developer over the counter, and it'll eliminate some of the rework that goes on in that process. So pretty excited about that. We have a council retreat on January 25th, and there will be a presentation at that retreat on this work program.
It always seems like a misnomer.
What's that?
I said it always seems like such a misnomer retreat.
Anything but, right?
Having a work session.
There's not much retreating that goes on. It's like a long work session. Johansson Wing continues to work with the city to finalize some construction documents and some of the details for furnishings and finishes in the TDS building. Council recently adopted changes to the 6-year transportation improvement program that were recommended by DKS Associates. This was to include the La Center Road, Timmon Road intersection project in that 6-year program. And the way we were able to do that and keep the traffic impact fee rate the same was we reduced the amount that we had in the 6-year plan for the East 4th Breezy Creek project, an equivalent amount to what the appropriation we got from the state is. And so that was $1.5 million that were appropriated to the city by the state for that project. The Timmon Road, La Center Road project is estimated to be about $1.5 million. And so we just rolled that in. We kept the TIF rate the same. And we have a number of projects for which a proportionate share of that project was a condition of approval. And so we're working with those applicants now to come in for post-decision reviews and remove that as a condition of approval consistent with the new 6-year plan. So this will help like Stevens Hillside and some of the costs that they're facing. DKS Associates, they completed the future intersection operation analysis for La Center Road and Paradise Park Road. And this analysis demonstrates that a traffic signal and a roundabout operate about the same, with both meeting WSDOT and city mobility standards in the year 2040. So DKS still needs to look at some other aspects of analysis, including safety and mobility, right-of-way impacts, costs and design, and they'll develop a conceptual layout for the roundabout to estimate how much right-of-way acquisition would be involved for that option. They'll produce a draft memo, and they'll have findings and recommendations for us in January, which will then go back to WSDOT and discuss how we move forward on that project. So hopefully we'll get that one off and running. Connor Harrison and Peterson annexations from August. We've been working on conducting census of the properties and making sure the legal descriptions are accurate. We got some feedback from OFM on those things, and those have all been resolved, and we've sent everything to the state, so those annexations will be official finalized here in the very near future. We go to the project list. Just a couple of quick things to note here. The Schlentz annexation, which is number 5, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll down so you can see on the map where the Schlentz annexation is right there. Holly Park subdivision is here. Schlentz is here. So we have a 60% petition. It's been received, and WSP is reviewing that. And so we're waiting on a couple of things, including an executed reimbursement agreement and a fee payment for a rezone application that coincides with the annexation. Critical areas ordinance is done. It should be submitted to code publishing, I think, very soon. It was sent to Commerce on November 21st. And let's see. Middle school, just a note there, this isn't 100% up to date. So project number 7, the Department of Ecology has issued a 401 permit for that project, and we have it on good authority that the Corps of Engineers has issued a 404 permit, and so the last sort of hurdle that needs to happen there is getting through the mandated comment period for SEPA for the city's review of some critical areas impacts related to that project. So we've expedited that and moving forward very quickly with that project, and I know the school district and everybody is anxious to see that project get underway. Let's see, the historic town center and Timmon Landing planned action area and sub-area plan. You approved the proviso for the 2020 budget, so we're proceeding with preparing an RFP, and we would like to get that out on the street early 2020, late January, early February if possible, so we can start getting that project underway. And then just one other update, project update. Riverside Estates, we have now 14 building plans which have been approved for that project. And I believe that is all I have for this report. Are there any questions?
I've got a couple of questions on your chart with all the different projects. You've got abbreviations for various types of applications and projects. Some of the abbreviations are pretty straightforward. A couple on your, can you tell me, what does COM mean?
Let's see, commercial.
That's commercial.
That refers to a commercial application.
Even for the school, right?
Yeah, the school would be a commercial project.
Okay. And CPA?
You know, I'm not sure what that specific abbreviation means. It refers to more planning types of projects. So,
Okay.
this is a series of these abbreviations pertain to the file number. So anytime we have some kind of land use application come in, there's a file number assigned, and these are sort of the standard abbreviations used to describe what type of a project it
Is
is.
this something that's particular to the center, or is this like a countywide kind of a standard? Or
I think it's fairly universal that the
Universal?
city has
Okay.
used these abbreviations for a long time.
Okay, yeah, I apologize, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but
That's okay.
I have to admit, I didn't notice these until just the last couple of days. I was looking at this, and then I realized that I didn't understand what some of those abbreviations are.
Yeah,
Okay, CUP, I assume, is conditional use permit?
correct, yeah.
Okay. One more I'm going to throw at you. SPL, number 20, down at the very end?
I believe that refers to short plat.
Short plat, okay. Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Any other questions? All right, thank you, council.
I just have a comment. First of all, I want to thank you very much for all your hard work and all the help that you've provided the city this year, Jeff. It's been phenomenal. Planning department has been extremely busy this year. Lots of land use issues, lots of permitting issues. We've gone through a couple different studies. It's a pleasure working with you.
Thank you, Mayor.
It's been great. And I anticipate next year is going to be even busier yet. So
I believe so, yeah. If some recent meetings are any indication, it's going to be a really busy year for the city.
Yeah, and I know.
I'll do share.
You'll find out very soon.
Okay, I know the entire city staff enjoys working with you as well, so.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, with that, that brings us to the conclusion of this evening's meeting. if I could get a motion to adjourn.
You don't want to pass anything with John and?
We're going to pass the motion
Oh,
after
okay,
the
good.
adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Again, Merry Christmas, everyone.